Hello and welcome to week 2 of the GSA Super Mario Maker 2 Multiplayer Versus Mode League. Week 1 was pretty exciting and looking forward to week 2. I'm joined today by Geldot.
Yes, hello.
Hi, welcome. Pretty exciting matches lined up. I'm going to be commentating the first 3 today, and our first set is going to be Shadow Chimera versus JohnWayne. Both players taking a win in the first week of the series, and so one will emerge undefeated and one will be dropped into the middle. So very excited. Of course, both players, very experienced tournament competitors. Both playing tomorrow in the GSA February Monthly. Looks like we're about to get started.
All right.
Oh, good old versus mode. Just a classic hot garbage level.
Yeah, it seems pretty typical for experts usually. The levels tend to be quite spammy. So you see JohnWayne entering the pipe here and taking a death.
Okay, Shadow survives. Well, I guess Shadow decided, it doesn't seem like it's such a good idea.
Alright. Looks like he's gonna try to cheese it over here using all these bullet bills. Which does seem to work out, and sees the flagpole and takes the win.
Well played by Shadow. I'm kind of interested to just know what was actually in the sub area. It didn't look very promising.
Yeah, so a lot of orange bullet bills that chase you, going after you. Didn't look like a good time in there.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, on to level 2. We see JohnWayne immediately taking a death here. So see Shadow Chimera platforming on these floating springs.
This is an interesting one. You have to be careful here not to... And Shadow just does it first try. No trouble there. Gotta be careful not to grab onto those springs or you're gonna be in trouble. The Shadow just proving what an expert they are.
Yeah, bouncing over every spring right there. And getting to the finish quickly.
Yeah. Both of these players are actually pretty close in rank. Both Pink S Plus, about 6,100. Shadow Chimera ranked 20th in the Americas region. JohnWayne ranked 29th. And again, both players are going to be in the top 8 of the monthly versus tournament tomorrow. So again, both players extremely experienced. So JohnWayne has proven extremely resilient in tournament scenarios. So 2 wins is nothing for Shadow. And we got a link level. A lot of times these link levels are skills levels. You know, they want you to use every available tool you have available. You got the bows, you got bombs, you got all links. You know, down stab, dashing. And in versus, that can be interesting because it usually means a lot of chances for other players to catch up.
Alright, like as you can see here, you have to use bombs to excavate down in the level. As you see Shadow taking a death, unfortunately, but should be able to catch up.
Yeah, unfortunately, John lost the power up there, so wasn't able to hit that on-off switch, so had to reset. So now Shadow, like you said, going to be out to a little bit of a lead here. But again, in these kinds of levels, no lead is really safe.
All right. Yeah, it looks like the power-up is also required through the entire level. But it does seem there are pipes here and there that do spawn some.
Oh boy, an off-screen Bowser. That's gonna add another level of fun to this competition.
Oh, and they both lose their suit as they need it. And they both go down to the
trying to push each other into the spikes, and one of them won, but the other one didn't last much longer. So.
Alright, parkouring down again. See the spiky helmet. That we see JohnWayne reflecting, but they both
managed to
lose it again.
Yeah, held on to it for like 1 second, and then yeah, I'm just gonna.
Yeah,
I see the pattern emerging in this level so far. They get one part done, and then they both take damage. So. Interesting. Shadow actually prevented John from getting a suit there, but as long as John can make it through, there's going to be the pipe spawning.
Yep.
So, not really much of an advantage for Shadow.
Yeah, it's only an advantage if you lose your suit right at any point over here. Because it doesn't look like you can get another.
And now they're trying to bump each other into the swamps. John succeeds that time, and so I believe the intent here is to do a dash attack. I'm not 100% sure.
It does look like it, otherwise JohnWayne
is
going for really tight gaps over here.
Yeah, and that's not gonna do it. Surprised Shadow waited to start over. They could have gotten the power up and caught back up and potentially had a much more of an advantage, but
yeah, I think Shadow was looking if John would open a path for him for new Link suits, but it didn't look like that was gonna happen.
Yeah, of course it would have been hard for Shadow to make it through without the dash attack, so
definitely.
Oh, and John gets squished by the I was gonna say squished, but not quite by the thwomp. Oh, he was riding on it. Riding on the thwomp. That was an interesting situation.
See the Bowser fire on the side still.
Yeah, Shadow making it back to the thwomps, not realizing that the point was a dash attack, and you're not gonna be able to make it through. You're not gonna be able to make it through without being able to have those bombs. So players having a little bit of trouble with this section.
Definitely do need those bombs here, but it looks like the players haven't figured out yet what to do. But I'm sure they will soon enough. The Link suit has a lot of utility that people tend to forget as well.
Definitely. Looks like John lost the suit again, but just gonna wait for Shadow to open up those on-offs. Oh, now Shadow trying to get him with the bomb, but gotta be careful. And he gets it!
Oh! He gets him with the bomb.
Well played by Shadow.
Definitely a nice little lead here for Shadow if he can get through the Tom part this time around.
That definitely seems to be the bottleneck so far.
Oh,
and still trying to get through without the dash attack.
Trying to walk through over here as you see a John coming through, running through, losing the suit and realizing he does need bombs. And that's gonna be a timeout.
Yeah, timer now. Unfortunate. You know, last time I was commentating, we managed to make it 6 whole games without a timeout. It was a miracle. But not able to make it that far this time.
Still loaded our next level. Looks like it's a SMB3 level. Nighttime airship, by the looks.
Yeah.
Not an auto scroll, surprisingly.
Oh, nope, it's going to be a vertical climb, though. And Shadow not realizing it. John quickly realizing Shadow's mistake, able to go back and figure out. It looks like maybe the flight is required. Not 100% sure. No, it looks like maybe not, but it is going to be difficult without that. I mean, or I should say the flying leaf is going to make it much easier to get up.
Right. Yeah, it looks like otherwise you're supposed to use these cheap to maneuver all across, which looks a lot more difficult.
Oh, John tried to take a damage boost through that section, but not able to get into the last part. Of course, Shadow... oh, yeah, running out of time as well. That's... I mean, I understand why they went for the damage boost there, but it looks like you have to maybe hold on to that power a little bit longer.
Yeah, right.
Oh, John having some trouble getting P-speed. And losing the leaf, and gonna have a much more difficult time getting up without that power-up, so... Both players actually having a little bit of trouble with the P-speed. P-speed is very tricky in SMB3. It's a lot more challenging than like SMW. You need a lot more ground than you do in SMW. Shadow again opting for the damage boost and maybe having a better shot this time. And
oh, nice! And those checkpoint here, yeah.
With the very slight lead, grabs the key and immediately takes a death, but the key is going to be right at the checkpoint. Hopefully, it floats back to him though.
Yeah, the key will float back to him.
Just kind of, it went off into the ether for a little bit. That is going to allow John a little bit of time to catch up.
Right. So it looks like
that
is
key
just
wasn't
a
even
bonus room.
Just a bonus. Oh.
Which is unfortunate.
Oh. And Shadow sees 3 bonsai bills and immediately nopes out, but that's the way you gotta go, it looks like.
Unfortunately so, but the thing is, now there will be despawned for JohnWayne, who's gonna not be able to get up.
Mm-hmm. Another leaf for, yeah, and John is gonna get the bad news right about now.
Yep. Finding out that he can't get up. Wondering if there's something that has to respawn. Yeah, nothing will respawn until basically both of them leave the subworld here.
Mm-hmm.
That's how bonsai builds just are.
Shadow's about to make it to the next checkpoint and into the other sub area, so John a little confused, understandably so.
To see some boss fights being fought here by Shadow, just leaving those cheaps.
Oh, and looks like that bonsai build is gonna help them get up and.
Right.
Oh. I was gonna say manages to get the jump off, but of course with the wings it takes actually 2 hits to kill them. Not that it makes much of a difference here, but
yeah, he still managed to keep his power up.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's gonna be important. Gonna make dealing with these cheap a lot easier, of course, and maneuvering around these platforms. Shadow having no problems so far, and John having a lot of problems getting up in that sub area.
John now reaching checkpoint 2 as well. He's gonna have an easy time going through all these key doors that already have been opened for him.
Mm-hmm.
Allowing him to catch up quite a bit.
Still has to make it up though, and both players lose their leaves, and so it looks like... Okay, it looks like we got some pink coins in this last section. And, oh, Shadow loses the power-ups and falls onto those spikes, and now John has to figure out what's going on. Goes into the regular door. Shadow has to make it all the way back, so if John could figure out what's going on, maybe he'll have a shot. But it's gonna be difficult to get those pink coins without the leaf.
Yeah, he has no leaf.
John just falls down. So Shadow once again in the lead. And in fact the timer is it is ticking down.
It is running low, yeah.
I think Shadow will have just enough time if they can get the pink coins all on this first shot, but that's gonna be difficult because I don't know if Shadow even knows where they all are.
Alright, he's trying to get P-speed over here, but didn't manage to get it because platform is just a bit too small. And then now decides to deboost through, realizing he has 10 seconds left, jumps through the one way.
Unable to get that pink coin, so that's gonna be another timeout. Unfortunate, but again, I said so many times last week, that's just versus for you.
Right.
So once again, game 3. Yep, off to a good start, as per usual.
Alright. Looks like we have another link level coming through. Hopefully it won't be as hard as the last one.
Hopefully. Of course, this time it's got the clear condition, so they know they have to hold on to that link for the entire level. So, okay, JohnWayne out to the early lead. Immediately loses the link though, and it looks like we got a bit of a Kaizo level. That might make things difficult.
Alright, well, at least these blue platforms do respawn.
Yeah, Shadow able to get through. Loses the link and falls through this virtually invisible hole at the end. So it looks like they're not going to have too much trouble making it through as long as they can manage these on and off blocks correctly. And of course, still got a lot of level left to go, potentially.
JohnWayne jumping up and sees the spike while he has to maneuver through with the blue platform over here.
That's extremely tricky because those spikes are extremely misleading hitboxes, but John having absolutely no trouble with that and makes it to the goal, gets on the board, and cuts the lead in half.
Yeah, that was a real good win from JohnWayne there. Maneuvering through the spikes is definitely not easy with the hitboxes they have.
And especially on those platforms, you just don't have enough. You don't have a lot of time to make your movements. From just one slight mistake, and you're gonna eat spike.
Yeah.
So really well played at the end by John.
Alright, as you know, the next stage is the 3D world stage, and you see the plenty of Goombas and a hidden fire flower. And star gets revealed. See JohnWayne running through with the star.
Another classic Explo, and it looks like we got gonna need some sort of power to get through there, or a bomb or something. Fire flower's not gonna do it.
Hammer maybe.
Shadow finds Katsu, so that's gonna move them forward. And there's the end. Shadow just make that jump at the end.
And he had damage boost all the way through.
Yeah, they can't all be good levels.
Right, that's a classic expert level.
Yeah,
I would say.
Definitely. You got a couple boom booms and the big old flying meows right at the end. So.
Yep.
Definitely not the last one we're going to see of those today, but hopefully not too many.
All right. Alright, the Mario World level, and immediately cape here for JohnWayne.
Yeah, both players managed to get it. Shadow loses theirs pretty early, so John sticking with that cape for the moment.
Yeah,
very interesting to see if... Yeah, it looks like the top is closed off, so probably not going to be any cheese in this level, but...
Alright, looks like JohnWayne lost it anyway. But I don't think he cared too much about that.
Yeah, both players now about neck and neck. Both without the power-up, so pretty much in the exact same position. Oh, John! Wow! Expertly managing to move through those enemies. Unfortunately, Shadow taking the death there. And that was the end, so John...
That's the end.
Yeah, John takes another one back.
Some good maneuvering there through the Bullet Bill and the Piranha at the same time.
Absolutely. I 100% would have died in that situation. So.
Yeah, same.
Kudos.
Required a fast reaction, to say the least. Looks like we have a Mario Brothers level next from a Forest team over here. Gonna be JohnWayne taking the lead, bouncing over the shells. And Shadow getting a fish.
Sniped, yeah, by the GG.
Yep.
John gonna have a pretty good lead, managing to get one of those stars that was falling down, and so gonna be able to move this star. The interesting thing about the star, of course, it does speed you up, so it can mess with your jump momentum, but GSA not having any problem with that, gets dropped immediately on the goal, and we are tied up at 3-3.
Yeah, he barely got a hang of that star over there.
Mm.
It was very close.
Yeah. Great set so far, almost halfway done, and perfectly tied up. Like I said, these players very close, actually very close in versus rank, so not surprising that they would have a pretty close matchup.
Alright, seems to be a very close skill-based match over here. Oh, a new Super Mario Bros. Level. See some fire bars, some Poda Boost flying around.
Yeah, this looks like a good old hard garbage level. Emphasis on hot.
Yeah, this is your average expert level. Oh, and we see
John finds a star. A little bit of a spike maze and a propeller. All right. Looks like that's gonna be the end.
Yeah, it looks like he just has to deboost twice.
Unless there's some hidden thing.
Which is very possible.
Yeah. But John makes it to the goal, takes the lead for the first time in the set.
Yeah, all the levels with all the enemy spam and spike mazes and everything tend to be at least a little short.
Right, so halfway done. John with slim 1-game lead over Shadow Chimera.
Yep, we have a 1 coin clear condition level that's in plain view over there.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. You gotta figure, what is it? Is it a hidden block, a propeller shroom?
Alright. Maybe the door drops you on top of it.
Yeah, where does the door take you? None of them tried the door yet. John's trying to get it and get back, but that's gonna be, yeah, that I don't know if they're gonna have enough room to do that. So
yeah, it doesn't look like there's any Kaizo blocks either.
Yeah. So they're gonna have to try the door unless one of them wants to throw. Unless one of them, one of them actually could throw them into the coin if they can grab another, and then have the clear condition flow back to them. I think that's what they're trying to do right now. So
that looks like it. Oh.
Oh, and John just jumps off Shadow Chimera.
Yep.
Being alive. Not that it really means anything. Can't really do anything at this point, but.
Yeah, they're just trying to throw each other by the looks of it into the coin. Not wanting to try the door just yet. See, JohnWayne getting thrown up. Oh, that was Shadow, my bad.
Yeah. Shadow? I'm sorry, John gets the coin, clear condition, but not able to make it back, so now it's going to float back. But John might spawn in time to make this interesting. And John gets the clear condition back and gets onto the goal! What a play by JohnWayne!
Turns out the flagpole just drops you onto the goal. So who knows what the intended way of getting that coin was?
That was an interesting one, and you have to wonder how Shadow's feeling after. They were so close, and John just respawned just in time to get the clear condition back.
Yeah, the clear condition just floats wherever it wants to. Sometimes it takes 2 seconds, and sometimes 10 minutes. And Mario Bros. Level here, Desert themed. Like they're gonna have to get the B switch on off.
John having a little bit of trouble with the
Yeah.
on-off switch, so Shadow, of course, now Shadow having to wait for that P-switch to go off to get in the door, but of course John just hits it, now they're caught up again. So.
Yep. If you see your opponent standing still, so you gotta assume they're waiting for something.
Yeah, it looks like we're gonna have more on-off shenanigans, and John takes a dive into the void. So.
Yeah, unfortunately, so as you see a mushroom being shot into Shadow, who is waiting for yet another P-switch to run out.
Alright, Shadow gets to the checkpoint, so big lead now for Shadow.
So if JohnWayne just makes sure he presses every single P-switch, he could catch up, but he has to wait for the walls as well himself.
This is an interesting setup. It's gonna be interesting to see how the on-off blocks and the P-switches interact, because you know, John is right behind pressing those P-switches, getting those on-offs, and...
Alright, it looks like one is in the sub-world and one is in the main world, which means the bullet bills are respawned for JohnWayne.
Yeah, this might be the end for Shadow. And it is, so Shadow brings one back. Really, really close matchup so far for players. I'm really impressed with how they managed to battle back and forth with each other, so...
Yeah, it's been a real close match so far. They sure are showing how even they are as well in skill by the looks.
Definitely. And again, both players winning their first round matches, so one player will emerge undefeated after week 2. And obviously, they're both trying their best to make sure that it's them. But of course, in this kind of format, we're gonna play 13 no matter what. So every game counts, right. And it could be really important for those tiebreakers at the end of the season to get each and every one of those games.
Yeah, definitely. Ghost House level over here, first one that we have seen today. Like they're just trying to get up on each other.
Yeah, looks like. Okay, so now they're gonna. Oh, okay. So Shadow tried to take the path forward, but unfortunately that's blocked out just to power up. That might prove to be an advantage, though.
Alright.
Wayne taking the YOLO jump, and let's see, no entry.
No entry.
That sounds ominous.
Yeah.
Shadow making it to the same place. John taking another YOLO jump into the void.
Shadow sees him disappear, and
but the door goes right back to the start. Oh, that's. So this is. We got a tricky level. A little bit of a maze. Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh, Shadow. There's no way. There's no way.
Made the level impossible.
Yeah, no way that Shadow could have known. So.
That's true. It was a blind drop. You couldn't know anything.
All right, so they're either gonna have to restart unless that was actually not even the right way to go.
All right.
There's still a couple of paths they haven't really tried, I guess, but
there's a pipe up there, so who knows?
Yeah, maybe looking for some hidden blocks. This certainly seems like a level that might have some hidden blocks in there, but so far nothing doing.
JohnWayne trying the door, finding out it takes him back to the beginning. And
So,
see Shadow going for the blind jump.
Yeah, they're both just testing the waters, trying to throw stuff at the wall and see if anything sticks. But so far, looks like the only option they're gonna have is to start over, and they do.
Yeah, Shadow knows where to go though, and I don't think JohnWayne hasn't found the door yet.
That's true. Shadow just has to not make the same mistake as last time.
Alright, JohnWayne just following Shadow over here, hoping he will lead him somewhere.
Yeah, Shadow has the advantage, so. This time making it to the door. John, unfortunately, threading.
And there were multiple pipes there, so I don't know if that was pick a pipe or choose a path, perhaps.
It looks like we got some underwater, dark underwater. That's
alright. That's everyone's favorite.
Yeah, everyone's favorite. Something you, definitely love to see. And so it looks like there's some pink coins, and that might be the goal level. Collect the pink coins. I'm not sure if I saw a key door in the previous section though.
Alright, there's a pink coin over there as well. on the Shadow Chimera's board.
Yeah.
And he is gonna collect it, but it looks. Yep.
Yeah, so it looks like that may be the premise of this this section is collect the coins. So
Right.
each player getting one. So whoever gets the last one is going to get that key. And that Boom Boom had nothing. Oh, and is Shadow trapped? I'm not 100% sure. Looks like John realizing, yeah, Shadow looks like he's trapped. That gives me the chance to find another pink coin.
Yeah, Shadow restarting and is gonna have to get back to JohnWayne before he collects the last coin.
Yeah, and of course he doesn't. Shadow doesn't know which one John went into.
Right.
So if they go into the wrong one, that could spell disaster.
Looks like a on-off switch has to be activated to get this coin.
Well, John.
No, John's gonna.
John expertly
jump under
managed to maneuver and actually gets it. So
Yeah.
John gets the key, but of course Shadow now knows that John has gotten the key and is just going to play defense on that pipe.
Yeah, jumping above the wrong pipe actually. So that should be nice for JohnWayne.
Oh, Shadow.
Going into
It's like they were
another
trying to
pipe.
duck, but ends up going in the pipe instead.
Oh,
Now
that
Shadow
is-
right on top.
Yeah. Shadow's just gonna stay there and spin jump on that pipe no matter what.
Yeah.
And JohnWayne is, I think, not trying to get out of this pipe now.
Well, hopefully we're not sitting here for another.
250 seconds.
Yeah. So.
And this is a stalemate by the looks. I hope they don't decide to time out here.
Well, I mean, that's. I mean, it's up to them. They can either choose to give up if they decide to agree to give up, or they can just wait. And let's see, what do we got to talk about? So as I was saying, both players made it into the top 8, winning their groups in the February monthly, and the finals of which are going to be streamed tomorrow.
Yeah, that's gonna be exciting to watch for sure.
Absolutely. Both players made top 8 in the last one as well. JohnWayne actually taking second, just behind IPK, losing to IPK in the final. Of course, who would expect
Yeah.
anything less?
A
you know?
really strong player after all IPK. JohnWayne did really well and did manage to take a few games of him.
Yeah, true. Essentially, it does. I feel like for a lot of these players, you know, it is kind of just playing for second place.
Alright.
You know, you have to imagine that one day somebody's going to beat IPK, but probably not going to be anytime soon. So, and it looks like they did agree to give up. So
Yes.
that one's going to be a stalemate, unfortunately. So 4 games left. 4 games left to play in this set. JohnWayne 2 games away from taking the set win, but of course with just 1 game, you know, Shadow far from out of it. It's just unfortunate, you know, when we have these sort of stalemate situations that
Right.
you know, there's nothing we can really do about them. We just have to hope things work out.
Yeah, definitely.
We got new Super Luigi Brothers. You gotta wonder if that's gonna give Shadow Chimera advantage in this level on home turf.
Alright, the home advantage right here. As you see JohnWayne looking to kill Shadow by the looks. Now they both have a shell.
And they both miss. Shadow gets another shell and try again.
Oh,
John gets the power up, and that actually interesting.
That-
The
yeah,
power up
that's
animation
not the
prevented
power.
him from taking damage, but he takes damage anyway. So,
right.
and now they're still trying to just heal
Now they're
each other
fighting
out.
mushroom.
All right, John finally deciding to go forward and see what this level's about. We got some off-screen thumps. That's classic expert.
Yeah, definitely. Hammer Bro in a box, another classic. Does get a Shadow hit over here though.
Okay, John trying to navigate this section quickly.
I'm
not taking
surprised
those
Shadow
spikes.
decided to let him through there.
Yeah. John finds
Oh,
a
the
checkpoint.
checkpoint.
If he
Oh,
can't even, but he misses
yes,
boom boom. All those boom booms are so nasty in 3D world.
Massive boom boom arms just
So
hitting him.
Yeah, absolutely. Shadow does get the checkpoint, so going to respawn right there and have enough iframes to get through, just barely. Oh, but slips into the spikes. Still having that massive lead with the checkpoint though, so.
Yes, the checkpoint will give him an advantage here. See him going back to the main world. Oh, gets pushed
Oh.
by the end.
Yeah,
over here.
nothing that Shadow could do there. They're completely
Right.
trapped. Unfortunately, you can't damage boost through the ant troopers. They just bounce it off. So gonna have to hope that when they get back there, that the ant troopers in a better position.
Yeah, JohnWayne is now above where Shadow is.
Yeah, trying to collect the pink coins by the looks of it. It looks like that is the goal again, to collect the pink coins, so hopefully we don't end up with a rear in the last time, but it is going to be up to the players to actually collect them.
I do see a key door on both sections, so they might just lead to each other.
That's true.
But there's
opting,
three...
yeah, Shadow opting not to get that pink coin, maybe saving it for last, hoping John can get the other ones.
Alright. I see Shadow deciding to fight all the boom moves over here, seeing if any of those have a key. Somehow staying alive over there. That was insane.
Yeah, for a little bit at least. Finally, John gets back, he gets the checkpoint, but he's gonna find out, and he's gonna die the same way that Shadow did.
Yeah, he finds out about the ant.
Shadow does get the key though this time, and waiting, maybe realizing that Ant Trooper is in the bad position, and hit same exact thing. So loses the key. Now it's floating out there, and John gonna try to get back in, and the ant. They're gonna have to.
Right, if you enter at the right time though, you can't avoid it here, as done by Shadow.
Yeah, Shadow gets it that time, so... Get through, see where this key door leads. Don't even know if that's going to be the end. No,
it does lead back.
This leads back.
But now there is another one.
Yeah, now it's going to be collect the pink coins for sure.
Right. There's one coin still down there though, that Shadow decided to not collect. Who is now sitting on the last coin. Assuming he has the last coin at least.
Yeah, I haven't kept track of the pink coins. Just less than 100 seconds left in this level, so...
Oh, that was not the last coin!
Yeah.
So they're gonna have to try and find at least one more.
Yeah, there's that one. I didn't think that that one had been collected, the one in the ice section. I'm not sure if that is the last one.
It isn't!
Looks like no. So there's one more.
Oh no, they only have 65 seconds left as well.
Yeah. You gotta figure that they've got enough time at least, but the question is, where is that last pink coin?
Alright. For it's likely that that key door can lead to the end if they do find the last pink coin over here. But who knows where it may be.
Shadow went looking for it, but not able to find it that time.
Alright, looks like John is going out on adventure this time, looking for the coin.
You gotta figure maybe back at the start or somewhere on top of the spikes maybe.
Right.
That is at least what I would figure.
Oh, he found it. It was under that block over there. But Shadow is just gonna sit on that key door and wait for JohnWayne.
Yeah, and now John having to maneuver their way back to that section.
Oh, the boom booms will have respawned.
Only 10 seconds left. That might not be enough time to make it. Of course, time doesn't stop when you go through a pipe in versus, so that is definitely not enough time. So, yeah. Oh, and they were so close. That's unfortunate.
That is really unfortunate.
You know, we're still so early in the season, but it would be interesting for someone to go back through the VODs and try to count how many levels actually end in timeouts, what percentage of them.
Yeah.
So far we've had a few sets where we managed to make it through without too many, but then we've had some of these sets where it's been like, you feel like it's at least a third of the games are being timed out.
All right.
And
yeah, expert levels tends to sometimes have some thing to them where it's just really hard to find the exit or navigate through them.
Yeah, and we got some tricky navigating through these spikes for the players. Saw one of these recently, and players had a lot of trouble with it. Again, those spike boxes extremely misleading.
Yeah, it's quite some precision jumping over here, though. I did see the ant already on the very right side just now. So we'll see if yeah, there's the ant right there.
Yeah, the hard part, I think, the hard part they're having is with their momentum. You know, the momentum is carrying them into the spikes a lot of the times, and
Right.
that is tricky to deal with. You gotta be really careful with your movements.
Right. Not seeing the ceiling there, ended up jumping into the spike ceiling. Unfortunately, Shadow over here. Is gonna try to make it back.
I think you know what it's gonna be here is the patience is the key here.
Right.
You don't really have to take it that fast because you know your opponent. If you're in the lead, your opponent doesn't really have the chance to catch up.
Yeah, if they jump on you,
There's
they will
no room. There's
die.
no room to land there, and if they bounce on you, they're going to bounce right into the spikes. So
Right.
actually, a bit of patience I think would help the players here. But you know, these players are trained to go fast. So
Yeah, knowing it's versus kind of a race first to the goal wins.
yeah,
You're trying to keep in mind that they have to go fast.
they do have a lot of time though, so plenty of time if one of them manages to make it. Shadow.
Oh, that looks like a tight jump over there.
I was gonna say it looked like maybe there was ground on top of those spikes, but I guess not. I guess that's a little misleading. So that is actually, yeah, gonna be a really tricky jump in there. You have to just time it precisely.
Right.
With those coins gone, without the markers, it's gonna be much more difficult for our players to figure out where they need to go exactly.
Yeah, definitely. Looks like
And
John
John
Wayne's gonna
making
have
it
an
back.
attempt there.
Oh, and perfect,
And does
right
get
in the
the
hole.
jump.
And so John now sitting on match point. Of course, we will be playing all 13 games no matter what, but John one away from winning the set over Shadow Chimera.
Right. Loading into a Mario Bros level here with a Bowser clear condition. Having to kill all 1 Bowsers. Castle level, some maneuvering through the fire bars.
Okay, John Wayne gets out to the lead, and on the bind section, and okay. Gotta be careful about those chomps. Oh, Super Bowl. This is something we haven't seen a lot of recently. It's the Super Bowls. It kind of went out of vogue, I think, when Link got introduced to the game.
Yeah, Link definitely is the more popular choice over Super Bowl. Super Bowl also being a costume that has to be unlocked first, I believe. Bowser
and there goes the Bowser, so there's the clear condition. Of course, John having the only ability to get in the pipe. So now what is John's play?
Yeah, John is gonna run back, see if he can get back to the pipe where he came from. It sees he can, so...
Actually, maybe he was trying to bait Shadow over there successfully. So John gonna get in the pipe. And that's gonna be it. John takes the set. Well played at the end. That was a really smart move to get Shadow back there.
Yeah, Shadow maybe being afraid that he could go back to the pipe after all.
All right, so again, John taking the set. We still have 2 games left to play. So Shadow at least having a chance to maybe bring it back, make it a 7-6. John having a chance to extend that lead and get some more points in for the potential tiebreak at the end of the season.
Right. Another Mario Bros level regular. Looks like it's Night Team Desert, which can mean that there is wind, which there is, and both players looks like they got caught off guard immediately.
Yeah. And okay, it looks like it's going to be just the one-way wind. Sometimes you get that wind where it goes back, and that can make things really tricky because it's really hard to time out when the wind is going to change.
Yeah, with one way you can plan at least where it goes.
I feel like I've seen this level before. I'm not sure if it was last week or in a different tournament or something, but I feel like I've seen this exact level before where you have to maneuver the Koopa over the seesaws.
Right. Now the Koopa is just gonna bounce around and do its thing as it decides to roll out and come back.
Oh, and it came back! It came back! Be careful there. Okay, finally makes a way through, so gonna be that's gonna be John getting in the pipe. Yeah, I've definitely seen this level before. That's the checkpoint. All right, and it. Okay, there's the key, and I believe that if I remember correctly, it is just a series of these kinds of tests.
Okay, you're just getting the keys over and over, and
yeah, so
challenge rooms kinda.
So John out to the lead, but in this kind of level, you know, when you open those key doors, essentially give your opponent the ability to move forward without having to worry about that.
Yeah, definitely an easy way to catch up here for Shadow. Because he's getting all the work done here for him by John. Looks like they're gonna reach a checkpoint.
Now, I can't remember if those pink coins were actually necessary or if they were just a bonus, so...
Alright.
That could
there is
potentially
the key door on the John Wayne screen. Oh, and Shadow caught up and now is in the lead.
Yeah, John Wayne went back. I'm not sure if what they thought was happening there, but...
Right.
Yeah, and I exactly remember this level. And now it's just giant versions of everything that they saw before. I don't think the pink coins. I don't think the pink coins were necessary. So, yeah, they were just a bonus. That's right. All right, Shadow. They can avoid the wind. Ooh, oh, really close there. Oh, and John takes the death. That's gonna be the end. So Shadow taking one back.
Yeah, that wind is real scary.
Absolutely. John just not able to navigate that section. So again, Shadow gets one back and trying to make it interesting at the end here. Not gonna be able to get win the set, but making it interesting. So we do move on to the last game in the set. Hopefully the last game in the set, of course, if it doesn't time out.
Mario Bros level again looks like it's gonna be a blue platform level, which means whoever gets down first is gonna have a lead over here. Let's see Shadow taking
John can just navigate those blue platforms. Oh, just misses the last one, mistimes it. So Shadow now in the lead. Actually, no, they're both
right.
the same.
That's what I was thinking. Shadow going for the cheese, try and go through the soul blades, but there's not enough invincibility frames to make it, unfortunately.
And that's the end, so John can make it over there. Oh, but that's one tile gap and not able to make it through.
Is a really tight gap. 2 spikes on each side. No wall or anything to lean against. It's gonna be really rough for the players over here.
John gonna have another shot at it. I don't think Shadow has seen the end, so John just has to make it through that one tile gap, and it's so it's
so tight.
Perfect.
It is. Oh, there was a one-way in spikes.
Yeah, and both players still having trouble on the second section, actually, especially with how close they are. They're messing each other up. And now it's Shadow who actually gets into the last part. So Shadow gonna have their first shot at this one tile gap.
The one-way is way up top at the top arrow. I did see it. Means they all have to do a high jump to try and be able to reach that. Oh, interesting. Shadow waiting his turn. John Wayne is gonna hit that one way.
And yep, there we go. John Wayne getting the last win. So taking the series 8-5. Well played by John. Had some really good moves in there, and able to in the end take it. But a really close matchup. So I'm really impressed with how both players played. And that is going to be it for this series. So John taking the win, still undefeated after 2 weeks. Not a huge accomplishment. There's going to be a lot of that, but still, you know, you gotta win every game. You gotta win every set. So
definitely.
Well played to John, and GG's to both players.
Yeah, GG's to both players indeed.
Yeah, and so with that, we are going to move on and our next set is going to be iCarry versus Doomsday. Be back with that one shortly, so stay tuned.
They are synced.
They are synced now. Do whatever. In the lead again.
Wow.
Side for sure from Cheese. Okay, doing it, moving.
Oh no, the cheese falls!
Cheese